route is this way, but I'm trying to apply it to the best of situation. So the same thing the machine learning or your LLM works is that it has known something. It is just trying to match those things to the user requirements. So it tries to predict what is next, what the user might say next. Same way I'm trying to predict. If I'm still, I know that I have to go left, turn right, miss a pothole, and then I enter the place. I am looking, okay, is there someone coming from right side? If there's coming from left side, or if there's a truck coming, that is what I'm trying. I'm trying to predict my route based on the actual situations. So that's how the tokenization of your machine learning or LM works, that it tries to learn or it tries to adopt to what your user needs are based on its learned experience. Coming next. So this is the basically the way your LMs have been trained to respond. And this is where one case is where you will get a lot of hallucination if you don't ask right question. This is same happens if I'm traveling and I'm not looking right, left, I just cross and a truck is coming, it will hit me because I was not taking care of considering the right situation. Same thing is happening with the prompt. If I just ask him random things, I would get a random answer. That's why your prompts needs to be worked on a base. And one thing is that all large language model, okay, they work on a very basic principle that one prompt at a time. And there's a principle how the machine select prompts will come to that. But every time I type a word, the next word is predicted, and that is the most what you can say learned prediction from its experience. So it's kind of if you are asking the machine like I would say tell me about the weather today. Obviously, it has no direct learning from those things. It will go to some weather site, pull the data, and show me that the weather in Bangalore looks sunny or whatever it is. But if you say that, okay, summarize what is the overall weather condition for this month, or summarize the patient's case for referral, what you are trying to do is that you are putting a proper information what you want to do. For example, if I say this thing, summarize, that is one kind of prompt that I've given to him. Patient case and for what? For a referral. So it has three things that to work around. Summarize the content, what content, patient case, and what it has to summarize for is for a referral. So if I go, I think I have sorry. Yeah, I can copy this. So let me look at this, okay? So this is the one of the case. Hopefully you are able to see it. I will zoom it later. I'll put in the chat so you can also copy and let me paste it here. Oh, it's exceeding the word count. What I can do, I can break it. Let me try. So I'm putting there is a what we call a soap notes in healthcare, and let me try to do that. Still not. Okay, so there's one subjective thing has gone. I'm looking at objective. This is the objective one. So I'm putting the objective thing here. And let me put an assessment and plan. Hopefully that sits in the. All of you have got this file or this three messages, I will say on file. Someone respond on the chat, okay? Because, okay, fine, finally. Now you can go to your browser if you're opening the Google LLM or ChatGPT, whatever you want to have. I am on the ChatGPT. Let me show on Google. How many of you are open Google's LLM and how many of you are on ChatGPT? Which one should I go ahead? Should I go with ChatGPT or should I go with Google? Okay, so let's try with Google. Yeah, Google is free, so let's play with that. I think this is the one. Yeah. Please check the configuration. I don't want you. So try the Gemma 3 and 4 E4B. It's free, so that will be a good thing. Check your settings. At this point, this is default setting what we have. This is the default setting. Temperature is 1, and then you have something, okay? Now you can paste your entire content here. What images? Sorry, I think I done something wrong. Let me copy and hopefully it works. Screen sharing. I think I should make it for the entire share. Yeah. Is my screen visible to everyone? Great, great. So this is my screen, you check this model and this is the default config. Don't worry on this. Now I'm pasting the why. Sorry, paste on plain text. Yeah. This is my case, okay, at this point. Now the prompt that I want to give based on the earlier thing is that summarize the patient case for referral. So this is my prompt. So you can paste it here and put it as the plain text, sorry. Okay. And you can run it. You can also have control enter if you want to do that. It's your call. Okay. This is the output that the machine has given. What it's saying is that referral summary, allergic rhinitis, patient 23-year-old white female, complaint is that worsening of symptoms, particularly moving to some place, Seattle. Okay. History it has been. So what is that? What a SOAP or subjective objective assessment plan you are given to the machine? It has came back with the format in which you can refer. But now, if you have seen here, if I can look here, there's something written as 10.08s at the very bottom, this point. You can just see it. That's the time taken for the your LLM to summarize these things. Your time to response depends on something called as the token count or the output setting. And if I can, safety is not required. This is the output or token count and output length. So these two are kind of related. If I reduce the output length, let me try once more saying, so this is the default. That's something. So I can say 200. That's my default. Okay. I'll just copy or I can just redo this. I'm not aware. Copy text. Okay, hopefully it works. Control V. I have, it should go. Now what I have done, I have changed my output length to 200. What I have specifically done is that I don't want it to give so much brief. I can say run. It has went a bit down, 8.4 second compared to this one, which was 10.8 second. And also, if I look at the word count, if I look at this total content, it's much smaller than what this was. It has tried to be more precise. A patient will trial Xyrate or Lotadine, provide samples and prescriptions for nasal spray. So what it's trying to do is that it's trying to be more concise when I'm reducing the output length. Output length benefits is to that the machine tries to be precise. Second, it reduces the response time. That's the one feature that you can remember. Let us try one more time, and if this works, you can say I can do here and edit. Now I mentioned to summarize this patient case for referral in a letter format. Let me try this one. And I can put enter if all doesn't work. I can just click here, I think. Rerun this, and I can say rerun. So now it is putting into the letter format. But it has still restricted itself to the 200 words. Then that's the problem where it's not completing. So I can remove this and can try again. Now rerun this. Now you can see that when I removed the output length barrier of 200, it went a bit more flexible and completed the entire letter. So that also is one of the part that you need to understand when you want to restrict the output length. It has taken 14.3 seconds, the maximum that we have seen. but it is also given a complete requirement. Have you guys tried? Has someone got a different result, or have you got a bit hallucinating effect here? Oh, someone is answering in the chat. This is, I think, older one. Did you guys try this? Did you guys get some input, output, whatever it is? What do you want to say? I'll wait for some time, no problem. Unable to copy the prompt. Ah, um, from here, from the chat. No, you would have copied. It would be when you're pasting, you click on right click and say as paste as plain text. It will work then. If you just paste, it will not work. Try it out once. When you it will be copied from your Zoom or Zoom chat. But when I'm pasting, I think that is where the problem is coming. You say click on right on your prompt and say paste as a plain text. This would work. It's not allowing that option. Okay. How should I work around this? Just give me 1 second. I'll upload this as a file if that's possible. 1 second. Not bad. Save as desktop. Subject to that will find what this is. Okay, fine. Let's save. And I go to the chat again. Screenshot नहीं चाहिए मुझे. Cancel. Who can I? Oh, document here. Fine. Computer. Desktop and then subject here. Yeah, I have sent you a file. It's on a notepad text. You can open that and hopefully that will work. No, right click option would not be there. You have to click on your mouse using right click. No, even right click option not. Okay, I don't know. Try with this if it works. It's working great. So try out. First, you can paste the content. You can edit the same thing and try multiple ways. You can paste, and this is your prompt. Great, great. It's working. If you tried this and you would have got similar answer, not everyone would get the same answer because again, LMs work a bit differently. You try adding another thing. You try restricting your what we call as the output length. Make it 200, 300. You can play with it. I'll give you 5 minutes more so you can work on that, and then let me know what has changed or how the output has been changing. Okay, you guys have tried. Should we go next? Great. I think I'll minimize this. Okay. Sorry. So, I think coming back. So you have seen what how the basically your prompts work and how it does work. It basically looks at things. I can also try one more thing is that okay, let me come back. This is ChatGPT. Sorry, this is the one. Okay. Now, if I want, let us see that the patient was given, I guess, what was it given? Zytec Allegra. Okay, let's take Allegra. Now, when my first prompt, I want to say that, I'm trying to be as imaginative as possible. Let's tell me more about Allegra. Like Allegra. Yeah. Mm, enter. Okay. Okay. Now you're understanding one thing is that the question is so open-ended. Like, tell me more about Allegra. It's actually giving me details, or I know it's still working on the machine. Yeah, it'll take some time to work around. So it's giving me entire knowledge that it has about Allegra. No, okay, let it stop. It's still running for a long time. Okay, fine. Yeah, it took 43 seconds to get this output, and it has given a lot of information. This is one of the key issues or key problems when you look at the when we our prompts are not kind of or very generic. If I say instead of saying that, what are the common side effects of Allegra? And remember, we have not done any changes here. Okay, so let me try this one. I think side effects is given me here somewhere. Okay, side effects are here. Oh, okay. There are some side effects here. Less common it is given here. So, but then what we are asking, what are the common? It should return me the upper list only if failed and content. If you have accepted input token per minute, again after a few minutes, okay, I change the model. Works. So it's still kind of trying to be as, I don't know how to say it, mm, detailed. But if I just rework on this and I say, where is this thing gone? Yeah. Yeah. Edit. And I say I want output to be only 50 words. Let's say. And I say stop editing, return this. It's actually stopping. This should not happen. I kind of need to reduce the temperature. So let me try to reduce temperature. Change and mhm, bring temperature back and hopefully it works. Mhm. Okay, it's not inward to it. Just change what is the most serious. Let me try serious side effect. Yeah, it has still tried to go beyond, but at least it has given me the right answer that cardiac arrhythmia is the most serious but very rare. The problem is with Google's model, which are free, is that when I reduce the output length, it will abruptly cut my or cut the outputs. But the ChatGPT is that it will try to kind of work in a way it will summarize things. That there are two ways how both models have worked around, and what temperature is. I will come to temperature, and I will try to explain how temperature also influences. Okay, but this is where you can start looking at using your right words to get a right output from the machine. So yeah, I think we have tried this AI. We just say summarize, it gives a brief answer. But if you don't limit, it will give a long paragraph, which we have seen, and then it would put you long time to read also, and it will go on beyond giving you unnecessary requirements. So that is one thing what we work with the output length. Output length, I think that we have spoken and understand is that uh, output length is number of tokens the machine generates to answer a question. Problem is that if you have more output, more is the or slower is the response time, and if you're on a paid version, higher is the cost to compute that output. So when you build chatbots, when you build anything that is required for a small scale thing, you want that the LLM should not keep on generating unnecessary tokens and cost you more, so you try to reduce the responses. You can also try on ChatGPT. In ChatGPT, if it's free, you can try to put this code as hashtag token 30. It would understand what you're saying and it will bring you down the number. If but that's up to you guys. You can play it after the class or something. Now, this is a second thing, what is called a sampling control. So when we say tokens and when we say the machine works on, predicting the token, understanding the things and other things, basically what it is doing is playing on the game of probability. And there are, I think, what I can call as the entire machine learning works on a probability based model. What is the probability of a user asking this question? Based on what? Based on the previous patterns. So if 100 of us, or I don't know how many people, 20 of us have asked the same question, and the machine has learned, okay, for this question, the most answer where user has not or rerun is answer A, it will remember there's a highest probability of user accepting this answer when I for this question. That's how the machine is learning and also understanding what user accepts or what are the most common patterns in the accepting of the answer by the users and tries to work around. So that's where its sampling was. So if I give an example here, say a patient comes to you with a gum pain, okay? So when someone comes with a gum pain in dentistry, the first thing is that he needs Scaling and polishing is just cleaning of the his teeth surfaces, because that's the first line of treatment I have. Second, I do deep cleaning if it's severe, and if I'm not able to understand, I refer to period. That's how my mind is working. How I'm getting this is that in my 5 years of entire dentistry and other life, I have been told to know that okay, if anyone comes with a gum issue, give him a scaling and polishing as first line of treatment, and prescribe him a metformin. Sorry, metronidazole, because that's my first line of drug for any gum infection. So that's primed in my idea, and I have seen with the lived experience that whenever I do a scaling and polishing for any gum patient and give a metronidazole, it is highly likely that the condition would improve. That is how I have lived my experience. The same understanding is what the machine is doing when it's looking at the user thing. Whenever user asks any questions, what is the capital of India? If it says Delhi, then someone might say refresh because the answer is New Delhi. If someone says, I don't know, if it says that NDLS, which is actually a railway name of New Delhi, people will say, what is this? They will do refresh. So it's understanding that New Delhi is the probability wise best answer where the users are happy with my outcome. And that's why mental will say, okay, the first answer should be New Delhi, not or Delhi, and then maybe NDLS. That's how the machine has learned from its user experience or its live experience. And the most likely because as a scaling and polishing, I know because it's cheaper, correct? It's faster, and it has shown me the results in maybe 80% of cases. So I'm weighing my options here, saying, okay, looking at the patient who has came with me a basic problem of having gum pain, I am not going to directly say, you go and meet periodontist, because that is costly. The periodontist is going to come, take an appointment and other things. So I don't want to spend my entire time to kind of, give the least weighted option. This is where weight comes. What do we mean by weight? Weight is when in a probability I'm adding that this probability is most likely to result into a better prognostic value in terms of medical treatment. So the weight options are actually the game between my probability and my acceptance of the results or my prognostic value of my treatment. So these are two things that you should remember in the sampling control. And the same thing, what we say as weight and probability, is transferred into a concept of temperature, top K and top P. What does a top K mean? Top K means it's the probability. Sorry, yeah, it's the probability, and top P means it's the weight. Temperature means on the scale of being very creative to being very clinical, where you want the answer. So if I try with this and I don't lose the machine here again. So we had given this answer. Let me say this as 100 for time being, or maybe, I don't know, I'll not trust it output only. Or let me just it to 500, that's best time. And I can do a rerun. Again, it has went on his own loop, but then ठीक है. क्यों भाई क्या सोच रहा है ये? It's gone 14, 15, something is going wrong here. Machine is okay. अरे, it had, okay, wait, something went wrong here. Should rerun it once again. Okay, this is my output for the what are the common side effects. Okay, let me ask this ChatGPT a question. Say. Okay, please write a message to patient, ay, 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 to patient on instructions to be followed while taking Allegra. Okay, this is my prompt. I'm still keeping it to 500. I'm at this point I'm allowing it to be as creative as possible. Okay. And this is my top P, and I can edit top K from, I don't know if it's allowing me advanced safety edit. This is off all. Okay. Why it's not giving me the things on the top K and top P output length? Okay, this somehow this model is not allowing me for top K, but let me try with the this configuration. So I have made it as creative as possible, 500, and this is 95. This is a standard thing. Okay, so let me run. Hmm, weirdly working. Taking. So, okay, this is something writing kind of content and it's going as possible as possible. Okay, this is some weird, I don't know why it is written letter, but okay, fine. It should be message. It has went under or it's message only. No, I don't think so. Okay, it went as letter technically, not as message. But let us take this and let us now play with this saying, okay, wait, and we are reducing the temperature. Temperature is on the scale of clinical to critical. So zero, I'm as close I am to zero. That means I am more clinical, more focused. And if I'm closer to one, I am more creative. And let me kind of do this. I'm setting other things as okay. I'm saving and return this. This is my response when I have set the temperature value to zero point 0.1. And if I kind of go more options, oh, I couldn't see the earlier one here. This is weird. Yeah. Oh, so yeah, this is somewhere it came. So yeah, there are some changes. I think they would have side effects to watch for, serious side effects. hmm Nothing much change here. Nothing much has changed. I think, yeah, somehow um shows run settings. It was zero point 0.1. This is zero point 0.1. Somehow weird. Let me try this. My settings is, yeah, this is working. Nothing has changed much in this. I think somewhere here on it has given a difference. And if you have allergy, if you have a question, consistency, okay, it's come here. It's a very minor change it has made, but yeah, somehow, okay, here there are some changes. So hard conditions, so hard conditions. So there is some change it has made being too clinical or too this thing. That is for this, but if I close this out, to lose data, yeah, continue what I can do. Okay, so you guys can also try reducing this temperature and play. I guess this again works better with ChatGPT rather than this because of the model that we are using. It's free model and it has the different issues. Let us also try one thing is the temperature part. Hopefully, yeah. So what it does is that lower temperature is for clinical accuracy and high temperature is for the creativity. So you can create creative things using high temperature, closer to one and not closer to, or zero closer to zero, you can make it more clinical. That's one thing. And K-top and P-top, yeah, I can change this. Okay. Coming to top K, so what it does is the same thing. What we so called the probability. The probability is that after tooth extraction, patient should maybe rest, avoid, rinse, whatever. Okay. So it understands from its previous learning what is the next probability. The most people go for the word rest. That's the probability. So K top one. So what machines all your LLMs are trained to select top three probabilities. So based on this, you have rest, avoid, and rinse as top three to exclude ice and drink. So you can increase the probability to top five so that it can get more diverse pool. But that is kind of less useful compared to top P. What top P is doing is that it is trying to say that the weights that are given beyond that. So rest and avoid, it goes around 70% and something around 85, following by 95. So it's just trying to see that how much uh, kind of, I would say, weighted output based on the user this thing, or we can nuclear, like what are the core words that are really fitting your prompt. So that's top P and top K. Somehow on Google thing, you are not allowed to adjust the top K, but you're allowed to observe top P. So if I make it, let's say, I give a new prompt, I'm making it 0, I'm restricting it to 100 this point. I don't want to run it forever. What is the generic name of Allegra? Let me try. Okay, now here, if what you have done is that we had actually reduced the probability. I can make it 100 also. Let me try once and I make it 0. More clinical thing, and then I can say, okay, rerun this the setting. Pura machine is kind of so this is tried to kind of be more clinical and give me the why it went to 1,000 instead of 100. Okay, fine. It is not. Yeah, same answer. So what it has tried to be more clinical, and when I made 1%, it has kind of focused on fexofenadine, and it has also told me that just some instructions what it has given. If I say let me try one more thing, I'm now reducing my top. So or I'm sorry, I'm giving max. What are the top three brands that sell fexofenadine in context to what I will say India? Let us buy. And my this thing has created another issue, but ठीक है. And it's getting. अच्छा, this is something weird, but then it's okay. The model, but at least it has given us the top three. And if I, okay, what is doing? This model is kind of weird. It's running forever. Mhm. So what it has actually done is that, or if I look it from the settings that we have changed, when I say top three brands, fix of an and when I set it to be clinical and it has to be kind of, getting 100%. It has tried not only to find where all the word Finodine and Fexofenadine and the brand works, which is Allegra, Fexo, and Fexograd. It's also trying to redirect me to the links that it has if I want to buy. So that's getting, it's trying to just be more precise on my answer. It's trying to say, okay, if I'm asking for the brand or generic name or anything, I'm trying to kind of make it in a way that, or trying to kind of, present in a way that I'm going to buy it. So I want to do market comparison. So that's what it's trying to make it probability is what people asked next or what people actually wanted the machine to do it next. So that's how, if I can just play with it again, hopefully this time it will not hang up on me. Let me reduce this and let me increase this. So what I'm doing is that I'm making it as creative as possible. And I'm just trying that, you can give me as many as answer, but I'm restricting to 1000 because I don't want to keep on playing with this machine forever. Sorry, where was that? So just try editing. Sorry. Edit and rerun. Just gone bonkers. Something happened. There's a problem with this model, I think that's not nothing to worry about because the latest model is not, they only allowed 30 RPM requests per day. So that's what creating issue. कहाँ गया ये? Let me try once again. Wait, went. I think somewhere it's not taking load. You guys can try, see if it's taking load. What I'm facing is the same issue. I might change the model for some time. Gemini, Gemma, and other things. I think this one new, but I think it's not working. Okay, it has given some output, but I but this time you can see that it has not given me the list of websites from where I'm buying. So it's trying to be a bit more flexible, saying, okay, maybe he just came for a understanding the market or something. So that kind of change you can see in how the output is coming. I'm not sure why this model is giving so much issue. Latency, yeah, latency. If I check. This is a cool, not a problem. Somewhere it has gone bonkers. I don't know what happens, but I think yeah, that we have as a problem for the this thing. Okay, so this is basically understanding uh, your basics of prompt or how your prompt designing works. Now let's hopefully we have some time. This is just the understanding. I'll share the PPT with you guys. Now let's try some different prompting techniques. The what first technique that we call is general prompting or zero shot prompting. What is zero shot prompting? It's simplest way. Give a clear instruction to the model, what we are giving to him. What is this thing, read this case and other things. And you don't show them example, just the instructions. You give like what we do in real life. This is called as zero shot prompting. That is, the machine has zero shot to learn from the user or to understand the user preference. It's just a question it's asking and the answer has been given. So all of you are clear what I mean by zero shot or a general prompting. It's basically a simple prompt with a clear instruction. There is nothing else the machine is. It just need to go back to a database and answer the question. Then this is just an example. You can try this. It is so if I can give this back. I don't know. This is again a problem. But if this content is there, um, let me try. And I can share. I don't know. It will work. Mm. Let me try if it works with Gemini. So what I'm saying, classify the patient complaint as a pain, sensitive, or cosmetic. This is the complaint, and this is the category on which I want. So if I run this, I hopefully have no getting the same idea. It's saying that it's sensitive because sharp sting. This is what machine is trying. So this is very clear thing. I'm giving you option and you have to give me the answer. When you can see it has given reasoning unnecessary is not required, but then that is the machine's way because we have kept 1,000. If I keep 10, I don't know, 10 is too less, the machine will bonkers only. And it's a rerun. Nah, it's going speaking. This is weird thing. Something is it has answered, but it has stopped being so pragmatic now. It has been sensitivity. So that's the your zero shot prompting. You give the machine and it has to give the answer. It's like your 0 1 binaries, like, yes or no kind of answers. Now let us try one more thing where I went. Yeah, this is just an example. Yeah, this is another thing. One shot and few shot prompting. So you give machine one example, that is one shot, and you give machine few example, that is a few shot. So if I get back and if I have some content, I don't know why it isn't JSON, but chalo, ठीक है. Let me try this and I'll put it into the different format. If I can do this, yeah, hopefully it works. So, patient complaint is I have pain in my lower right molar, especially while chewing. Chewing. What we are doing, I can say as a class here if I want, and say as location right lower right lower mhm, right molar symptom pain trigger chewing. Based on this, eh, classify following complaints. I'd say complaints. Say one, what is the complaint here? My front teeth feel sensitive with what? Okay, what the complaint is. This plain text. Second complaint I have is that this is going wrong. Sometimes it goes weirdly. Let me try. Oh, okay. I made it 100. Sorry. I need to change that. It should rest it. It is done. 100 thing. Okay. Sorry. I will make it to 200. I don't know. 500. I'll make it. Don't need to worry about this shit. So you can see that based on my earlier instruction or what I can call as a one shot. Um, it has used the same idea classification. So it's saying class, but I think somewhere it's gone wrong. Oh no. Why it has okay, this should not have came. This is okay, so it has somehow made a weird thing that class it has at least given me back. And but it is at least on the right way trying to understand the what types I need, location, symptom, and trigger. So that's basically you try to give it one example, a one shot, and tell him to do other things. You can also do it few shots. I can give you just a few examples and try doing for others. So that's the example of your few shot prompts. Hopefully, yeah, that covers. And then, yeah, this I think is not important at this point. Yeah, I guess this we'll try to do sometime later next week because this is already a lot of content that you have. So next on 13th, yeah, we'll try to understand what is the system contextual and role prompting. That's basically a similar thing only, but then it kind of has a different perspective that is brought in. Or if you guys want, we can continue. It's your call. It's not more than one, two, three, 4 slides. Should we continue or should we stop? Great. So, yeah, thank you, yes. So what we had seen was basically the how you can go with your general prompting or zero shot, one shot, and few shot. The example is very clear. In your zero shot, you just tell machine to do something, and machine does based on its understanding or based on its kind of um, its knowledge it has. Your one shot basically works on that you give an example and it tries to follow that example. Multiple shot, it learns from few variation in example and makes a best guess output. Now, coming to the system, contextual and role prompting. So what is system prompting? It sets the overall context and purpose for the language model, and it defines the big picture, what the model should be doing, like translating language or classifying reviews. I can give you one, I think if I have here, let me try one example. Okay, this is system prompting. Okay. So you start with, give a role play, like, so today we are doing kind of, you are a clinical assistant. Classify the dental complaint into one of the categories. So what you're trying to do is that you're trying to set a bigger picture. When this you use when you want to have a longer things to be worked by the machine. For example, if you want to write an essay, if you want to write a poster, or even if you want to work on paper, say you are reviewer 2 or you are reviewer 3, and you upload a paper and tell the machine, you review it as a reviewer and tell me what are the limitations of this paper. That's where you're trying to prime your system to take a role of someone that you wanted to do. The best, I can say, benefit of this kind of work is that it really helps you to kind of simulate that person's behavior and review your work or review your kind of whatever you want need to get a help. For example, if you have any time sent your thesis for review, you can do one thing is that you can put up your supervisors or anyone's LinkedIn profile on a machine and assume you're that supervisor and try to be as, I don't know, hard as possible on the thesis and review it and give me the possible changes that the supervisor will ask me. So what it will do is that it will try to look at the profile, understand what is his strengths and what is his weaknesses are, and will try to guide you through the multiple ways. So that is what the system prompting helps. The benefit of this is that it helps on longer tasks when you have multiple commands to go on, when you have multiple answers to need from the machine, and it doesn't need to go out of that character. What else, as you start giving newer commands, the machine will go out of the character of the earlier one and start to look at the latest command. So to prevent that, you use the system prompting. The second is that contextual prompting. Again, same idea, but here what you do is that you set a context. This is the bracket in which you need to work around. And in this context, you need to give me the answer. So that's where the context prompting comes into play. It's different from the role play or system prompting because context prompting helps you to give the answer in terms of a context, while system prompting helps you to give answer in the overall system that you want it to work around. So there's two differences. This gives mostly short answers, quick answers, and helps you to kind of, summarize, or it helps you to kind of, work around with the same content that you have given it. Like, for example, if you're saying that this is the research paper that I have to review, or this is a research paper that I have to summarize for my professor, please give me the key readings. So what it will do is that it will not go beyond the paper and it will only look at those readings. If you ask him, I think I will try this out and I will show you one thing if I can. So let me try. Hopefully I have something to upload. Why it is asking me to sign in again for this thing? Upload fine. अरे ठीक है चलो ट्राई करते हैं. This should not happen. Okay. What I have, what I can do. Survey. Mm, Hopefully it opens. 1 second. Okay, so this is the paper someone has written about the learning experience from low code, no code. Okay, so let me take this example, that's better. So first thing is when I want to set a context, I can write as refer to this paper and summarize me the advantages of low code, no code tech. Let me say output length. Okay. Oh, it's not running. Okay, it's taking its own sweet time. Yeah, give me 1 second and a call. 5 more minutes. Okay, wait. Yeah. This is hanged, I guess. But let us wait for some time. It will come back. Hmm, Done. Okay. Okay. So it just came with some findings. Hopefully it is in with 500 words. It just took some longer time. But what it has done is that it has remained within this paper. So it's first line is based on the paper. If I'll give another option, okay? Let me try, hopefully. What are the advantages of low code, and no code tech? This is where I have not given it any context. It's just randomly going to trying to answer, and hopefully I keep everything plain as it is. No need to change anything. Chalo, try it out. Hopefully it will not hang. Just went back to the same thing. No. So it just went to back to its database, search something, and is trying to give me some answers. They might have some similar thing because at the end, these guys also have done a review, so it comes from some same perspective. But at least the context setting works when you want to do in a contextual environment. Now let's go back to the final one. That is a role prompting. Now, how role prompting is different from system prompting is that if you check here, you try to ask or try to ask your model, sorry, no, try to tell your model to assume a role of someone and only for that particular prompt, not as a system to answer something. So this is where you only want it to take a role of someone for giving you the answer. Like for example, this is what we all have done. Please take a role of my father and write an email to professor that I will need 10 days leave for family function. This is the most common thing that we do in our life. So we have done, I don't know. So again, this is most creative. I have kept it and I have kept it 5 hours. I don't want to write a bigger letter. Yeah, hopefully, kind of. This is what you can say role prompt. It's about it. You're assuming this is only for one time. You cannot ask him to again write a letter, like, or write tell my professor or other thing that you can do, but then it's only contexting to that particular role and function. While system prompting looks at a larger, you can be in that role, or you can be asking the machine to act as a reviewer for multiple times. You can do here also, but then there's a slight difference because here the machine is building the answer on its own. While when you're doing system prompting, you are giving it some reference point that for this reference, you assume or you become a reviewer three and review my paper. This is where you're just giving it like do it, yeah, as you are my father and write some letter. Nothing more. So that's the bigger kind of difference when you're writing this third type of category is role prompting. So you have system prompting. Um, this is more of a co-developing or co-writing work. Then you have context where you set a context and ask it to restrict itself into that context, and the role where it takes a role of someone and tries to respond. Okay, that's the three thing. So the same thing. System tells AI what task to do. Contextual gives a background info, and role tells AI who it is. So that's the main difference. So I think this has set you at least a better understanding of how the prompt works. It depends also on the which model you're using, like what we were earlier trying with the Google's, I think 4 point Gemma something, and it shifted. So the model is not that robust. So, but if you try with ChatGPT, it's much better. Gork also has different. So that also depends. But then the settings and functionalities do work based on your requirement. You can modify them to make it easier. I guess we are done for the day. Any questions? Anyone has any queries, or you guys can try. I will send this PPT to uh, Poonam. Would that be kind of you will be sending this, or should I send it in a chat box?
Sir, you can share in the chat box.
Do you guys have any question? Please let me know. And okay, let's give it a second. 25. We'll meet next time. We'll have another perspective coming in there, like understanding how to. This is just where is it went? Oh, sorry, chat box comes differently.
Or, sir, we can mail them later on if it is not possible right now.
File I will send, no problem.
Okay, sir. I'll mail them. No problem.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sending it to you, Supuna. You can mail them. If someone wants it mail, if they can download, fine. Or the recording and other things will come in mail, so you can download from there also. I have given this file in this thing. You can use it. The next class, what I need would be that I also need to kind of prime my chat GPT or anyone else to give you answers. So I need some time to do that. This is only designed to work for this condition. I mean, it tried to flutter too many times. So I need some time to see which model will be better for this. So we will catch on 13th and we'll try to be using a better model. I'll try if anyone else, I think Lambda or someone used better. Any other questions? You guys can try it on the um, Chat GPT, or you can try it on the same Google Gemma. See which model is easy to use or freely available to use, and we can see how we can improve, or you can try to play with it. It is generally same thing. You're just trying it in a, you know, with a bit more focused context. I think Poonam, that's all for today. We can close.
All right, sir.
Yeah, great.
Thank you for the wonderful and
Thank you
informative
guys,
session.
and yeah, I think we'll meet next week.
Thank you everyone for joining the session. See you in the next session, which is on the next Friday at 4 p.m. You can use the same link to join. We will share the reminder message for the same. Have a nice day. Thank you, sir.